Fanaa was a very unsafe film. It's a love story of a terrorist.
How did Amir Khan agree to doing Fanaa?
I narrated to him. He said, I don't know whether is Kunal the right person or not. I don't know. I'm cursing myself. I'm saying, kya bol raha hai? Beep, 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 beep.
Why is it that our movies today are not doing as well as they were doing before? And why are we still holding on to those movies that you made 20 years ago?
A lot of the current crop of directors have no experience of life. Chand Sifarish, which was clearly the song of the year, didn't get song of the year. A lot of our heroes today don't let the heroines' characters come out. Today, our heroes in their late 30s are still trying to play boys.
Movies that you've made at that time sometimes have not worked at the box office, but are like cult classics now. Also, not a lot of people know that Varun Dhawan is your cousin.
Yeah. Do you know Shah Rukh doesn't sit in his makeup bag? He sits on set. I can't direct looking over my shoulder ke Amir khush hai ki nahi. Imagine if Imran had sung that. Ajab leher hai meri padosi. Super hit gun. I have seen directors who behave like superstars when they enter the set. Acha, he's made this film. Itna kya uchal raha hai? I've given super hits and I've given super flops. It's okay. I have to admit I went wrong. We've got to make desi cinema. Wait, I'm coming back to cinema. Let me show you how it's done. Make अच्छी commercial Hindi film बना के दिखाता हूँ. ये लो.
If you had to remake a Bollywood movie today, which one would you do? Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Aleena Dissects. Today we're shooting with Kunal Kohli, who's one of my favorite directors because he's directed some very good movies that we grew up watching, from Hum Tum to Mujhse Dosti Karogi to Fanaa. These were cult classics and I'm so excited to be talking to him about all of the process of making those movies through the years and also what it means for him today. Thank you so much, Kunal, first of all, for coming on our show, Aleena Dissects. We're so happy to have you, and I have to begin with telling you that we're fans of your movies. Like, all millennials are. Like, I know everybody that still says the dialogues and still sings the songs that you have directed.
Thank you. I'll take off from there without a question. But so one of the reasons why people should get into cinema or be in cinema is not for the money.
Okay.
If I wanted to make money, I would have sold diamonds, or I would have got into real estate, or got into construction. The reason we get into cinema is this. The reason we get into cinema somewhere is immortality. Not for ourselves. We are going to go one day. But immortality of our work.
Right.
All the songs you hear of the 50s and 60s, none of those people are alive today. But you're still hearing those songs and remixing them. Okay, so what I want when I make a song like Ladki Q, or I make a song like Chand Sifarish, you know, or Saason Ko Saason Mein Dhalne Do Zara, when you make these songs, your wish is that they outlive you, and 50 years down the line, someone is remixing them, someone is singing them, someone is doing something with them, and the songs live on.
Right.
That's just with music, and of course with dialogues, with films. You want that to live on. That's what we're in cinema for.
Right. So many people in this space have told me that. Like, that's what we live for. And every time somebody sings the song or says a dialogue, it's something inside them that says, okay, we've done some good work.
Exactly. You know, when the album of Fanaa released, everyone told me the weakest song in the album is Des Rangila. While shooting it, Kajol used to tease me, what is this song? Yeah. And in fact, while shooting, even Dekho Na, the Rain song, Dekho Na, Amir and Kajol used to both say, what is this song? Yeah, it's like a Bhikari song. Dekho Na. They used to do all that. Now, the moment the monsoons start, the moment it starts raining on the radio, Dekho Na starts playing. Every 26th Jan, every 15th August, 90% schools, colleges, mein functions are there, Des Rangila will be playing.
Yeah.
I've gone on so many school functions, college functions, and not because I'm there, they've done it, because they've obviously rehearsed it and all. Just now, 26th Jan is coming up, and my daughter was performing 3 songs. So I asked her, very, just for fun, how come you're not doing Des Rangila? She's saying, my teacher said, every school does Des Rangila, we don't want to do it. So that feels good. That feels like, okay, wow, chalo, we've done something.
Right, no, interesting. So you've had a very lustrous career, okay? And you've done a lot of interviews. That's where you started with. You've taken interviews. Now today I'm taking yours. But what is something that you think nobody has ever asked you and that you want to tell?
Oh, there are lots of things.
What is something that you want to talk about?
So I'll tell you, there's... while we all love doing interviews, this is the whole thing about social media today. There's so much of it. A lot of actors are there on social media. Very few are not there. In fact, I think the only one who's not there is Ranbir Kapoor.
Yeah.
Okay, and Amir. But the others who are there very intelligently are like Shah Rukh,
Yes.
Salman, who do very little on social media. There's a reason for that. What's the reason? The reason is social media is here. You're in my hand. I'm looking down at you. I'm seeing you like this. Okay? The big screen, I'm sitting like this and I'm looking up at you. You're this gigantic image. You're huge, you're massive. That man will be a hero. This man can't be a hero.
Right.
Okay? How can a hero fit in my hand? How can I look down on a hero? I have to look at a hero like this. A hero is massive, larger than life. That's cinema. These are reels. This is fun. This is an interview. This is a chat. This is great for here. This I will see here. This I don't want to see on the big screen.
Right.
On the big screen, I want to see larger than life characters. I want to see beautiful women, hair flying, songs being sung, haath pakda, mud ke dekha. Wo sab I want to see on big screen. But when everybody starts living their whole life here, it's not going to work then. Then when you come there, I'm not interested. You get what I'm saying?
I want to know then, why is it that our movies today are not doing as well as they were doing before? And why are we still holding on to those movies that you made 20 years ago?
So the reason, this is a multiple answer question. One is this. Because if I see everything of the actor here, what he's doing in the gym, what he's eating, how he's getting into the car at the airport, how he's doing, I'm tired of you then. Yeah? मैंने सब कुछ देख लिया तुम्हारा. Screen पे आने का मतलब क्या है? Come once in a while over here. Once in a while come here, like what Shah Rukh does. Or Ranbir just when he's packed. Or when he lets himself get packed. Why films are not working so much today is because a lot of the current crop of directors have no experience of life.
Okay.
They are very, I think they have no stories to tell. They seem very immature. Their films don't have depth in it. The stories are very simple.
Right.
You know, the story, pura story trailer mein aa jata hai, and then when you see the film, so you see a trailer of a film, you say, I want to see this film. Then when you go to see the film, what you saw in the trailer takes half the film. Then the film starts.
Right.
अरे यार, मतलब आपके पास कहानी ही नहीं है. कहानियां नहीं है बोलने को.
Also, it's expected. Like when I'm watching a movie today, I already know what is going to happen. So there's nothing new that's coming up in the
Exactly. But when you saw Hum Tum, you didn't realize that Rani is a widow in the film.
Right.
That she gets married to somebody. Right. She gets married to Abhishek Bachchan. Then he dies. And then she's looking for love. And she's not looking for love again. She's gone somewhere else. And Saif comes back into her life. The last person you expect to come into her. This story. There's a huge story there. And there are moments. There is music. There is, and without music, so first of all, depth nahi hai.
Right.
In some of the people making the films, there's no depth. There's lack of stories. And we've killed music because everyone wants to do action films or a remake. Remakes are fine. I have nothing against any remake. Make whatever you want. Ghazni was a remake. It was a brilliantly remake. A lot of films are remakes and they're very well made. But adapt it. And don't get rid of music. They've all gotten rid of music. And without music, Hindi cinema is about music. Hindi cinema is about songs. Hindi cinema is about ada. Ada, again, missing.
Right.
There's no ada. Where's that ke heroine palke dheere dheere uthati hai? Not sharmawing. I'm not saying be a dukhyari atma or be something or be a helpless girl. All the women in my films are very strong. Kajol shoots Amir at the end of the film. Okay, so strong, but still, when there's a song being sung, there's an ada. There's a charm. All that is being lost today. There's no ada. There's no ada where a girl turns her face, looks, halke se palke uthti hain. You know, there is, when an audience sits in the theatre, he should feel कि यार ये जो खूबसूरत औरत को मैं देख रहा हूँ स्क्रीन पर, उसकी खुशबू कितनी अच्छी होगी. He should feel that. You know, when he looks at a hero, he should say, "Sala, ye hero hai." If you see I won't just talk about my films. If you see in Hum Aapke Hain Kaun, a 7-minute song "Joote Do Paise Lo." Okay, 7 minutes all about "Joote Do Paise Lo." Finally, he's got the juta, he's maroded a hand, and he lets it go. He lets it go and she runs down those glorious stairs like a superheroine. And everyone's in love with her. And then she turns back and she looks at the man who let her win.
Right.
That's a hero. I get goosebumps talking about that scene. That's a hero where he's just walking down, I'll let you win.
That's a good scene.
That's a hero. Hero is not just someone who beats up 20 guys. The heroine has to be so strong, so good looking and strong-willed. Madhuri in Hum Aapke Kaun was doing computers. She's doing computer science.
Yeah.
In that scene on the billiard table, she says computers. वो computer करिए. हालांकि दिखाया नहीं एक भी scene में she's sitting on a computer, but at least हमारे दिमाग में आ गया कि वो computer पढ़ रही है. So she's an educated woman, and he's won her heart. तो यही तो hero होता है ना. Just by beating up people is not. So first build up the girl. A lot of our heroes today don't let the heroine's characters come out. Everything is on them. Action hero को चाहिए, गाने hero को चाहिए.
Right.
गानों के लिए एक आइटम वाला गाना ले आओ तो हीरोइन का कोई रोल ही नहीं है. Then heroines are forced to do heroine oriented films. Whereas all these heroes, all our three super khans, Amir, Salman, Shah Rukh, they all did a lot of romantic films. Won the hearts of all the top heroines. Now they're doing action. So that's one reason where, that's one more reason. Do some romantic films. Win the hearts of girls. Give the girls an equal role. DDLJ is as much Kajol's film as it is Shah Rukh's. Hum Aapke Kaun is as much or more Madhuri's film than Salman's. But today when the heroes feel insecure and want everything for themselves, then the films don't run. Then the films don't run and you wonder, अरे फिल्में क्यों नहीं चल रही? अरे हीरोइन है ही नहीं तुम्हारी पिक्चर में. तो तुम काहे के हीरो बन गए? That, and then all of them are in their 30s. The heroes. Do you know Mr. Bachchan was 36 years old when he did Kabhi Kabhi and he played father to Rishi Kapoor.
Okay.
Rakhi was 29 years old in Kabhi Kabhi when she played mother to Rishi Kapoor, who was 24.
Now that doesn't happen.
It can't. If I go with a script like that, they'll throw me out. They'll say, are you mad? You want me to play mother to, say, Ishan Khattar, who's anyway in his 30s. You know, actors in their 30s and late 30s we consider young boys.
Yeah.
How? They're men. They should be men. तो मर्द तो लाओ ना screen पे मर्द बनो. Do some heroic male-dominated. Do roles which are strong, which are tough. In their by the time they were 35 plus, see the cinema that Mr. Bachchan, Shami Kapoor, Raj Kapoor, Devanand, Amir, Salman, Shah Rukh had all done. They were not playing boys when they were in their mid-30s.
Right. They were more
Today our heroes in their late 30s are still trying to play boys.
Yes.
That's the problem. That's why our films are not working. That's one of the reasons. I've given you a list of reasons why films are not working.
Yeah.
Heroes are not giving heroines enough footage.
That's true.
So that's one big reason. Heroes are still trying to play boys. Be men, be heroes.
They should be more fluid.
And
because that's what an actor's job is, right? To be able to go into different roles.
And we got to make Desi cinema. We got to make Desi cinema. Why is Sri such a big hit? It's a Desi story. Why is Pushpa such a big hit? It's a Desi story. Connected with the God. And Desi doesn't mean just you shoot in the villages. The story ka feel is Desi.
On the contrary, do you think that that's also happening because people want to see more relatable content? I've heard this a lot, that, you know, when you look at the big screen and you see cinema, it's like the generation of today is saying that I don't relate to that person. That's why these characters they are making as relatable as they can, but then it loses the essence of a big screen character.
Also, I think one reason why a lot of our cinema is not working is because we've got confused between OTT and cinema.
Yes.
We've got confused what to make in OTT and what to make in cinema. And we've got confused as to who are the stars of cinema and who are the stars of OTT.
Right.
Actually, the biggest star is always the script. The biggest star is always the director. I'm not saying it because I'm a director. Okay, the biggest star is always the filmmaker. It's the film.
Right.
There's a reason why certain films with certain actors will do 600 crores and with similar actors will not do anything. Because there was something in that film. There was something in that film that took it to that level. Now that's a thing of the producer, the director, everybody. Not just the actor. It's that whole team that made the film. You know, there was once a wonderful thing Rahman told me. We were going on a flight. I was in Chennai. And we were both on the flight from Chennai to Bombay to Jaipur. And he told me it was just after Hum Tum. And he said, you know, the Almighty above, whatever you might call him, sometimes he's a little lazy. And he wants to give success to a lot of people together. So he got you, Prasoon Joshi, Jatin Lalit, Saif, Rani, all of you all together, put you all in one film and give you all success. And put the spotlight on you. So that's teamwork. That's teamwork. While we were making the film, nobody thought this film will work. My previous film was not successful. Saif had never given a solo hit.
Yeah.
So no one thought that this film was going to be a big hit.
You also did animations, which was
We did animation. There were animations in the film. People were like, यार picture में cartoon क्यों डाल रहे हो?
I loved it.
Yeah, but people were like, ये cartoon कहाँ से आ गए picture के बीच में? अच्छा भला narrative चल रहा है तुम्हारा, तुमने cartoon थोप दिए, narrative टूट रहा है. अभी 25 साल बाद they are still talking about it.
So how did you do it? How did you come up with, okay, I'm going to do animation and no matter what people say, I'm going to put this in the movie?
I love how our conversation has gone all over the place, but that's fun. I wrote the story like that. I wrote the story with that in mind. It was, the script still has that. The script had it at the time. While I was writing it, I wrote here, it'll break for an animated scene. Here, it'll break for an animated scene. There were those fixed scenes.
Okay.
And we had a very small budget at that time to make the film. It was 7.5 crores. Yash ji had just given Adi and me 7.5 crores and said, "Isme banana hai, banao, nahi to mat banao." And in that we had to do animation. The first budget we got for animation at that time was about 1.5 crores.
Oh.
He said, "Picture kaise banayenge?" Then finally we found a studio that agreed to do it for like 40 lakhs, 45 lakhs. And then I had to compromise in that and say, okay, I won't do 3D, I'll do 2D, keep the background static. So all these things I had to work on. But it happened. It worked.
It worked so well.
Yeah.
Was there pressure after the movie to keep it up then?
I never took pressure on my first film. I had Hrithik, Kareena, Rani in Mujhse Dosti Karoge. I didn't take the pressure then because I was like, if I take the pressure now that I'm, one of the first outside directors for YRF and I'm making this big film and all, I would not be able to perform. When Mujhse Dosti Karoge failed and I was making Hum Tum and only Adi was backing the film and nobody else believed in it, if I had taken that pressure, I would not be able to make the film. And then after Hum Tum, I won Filmfare Best
Director.
Yeah, the Best Director Award and Best Scene of the Year. So I won 2 awards in Filmfare that night, and they were the Golden Filmfares. Okay, it was the first time the Filmfare trophy turned golden, and the only time. It was the 50th year of Filmfare, and the nominees were Farah for Mehuna, Ashu for Swades, Farhan for Laksh, Raj Santoshi for Khaki, and Yashji for Veer Zara. And me for Hum Tum. So I thought, koi chance nahi, nomination ho gaya, bahut ho gaya. Then when I got the best scene of the year, I said, ye to ho gaya abhi. I'm happy.
You're happy.
Then when I won Best Director, I got a life lesson. Okay, I went up on stage, and I went up on stage. The first time I'd gone on stage to receive an award. I'd hosted before and everything, but I went up on stage to receive an award, and I don't know what happened. All the lights were there, and I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see the audience. I couldn't see anything. So I was like, okay, this is a life lesson. When you're way up on top, you get blinded. You get blinded by the success. But did I get blinded by the success? No. I don't think I got blinded by success. I was okay. I made Fanaa after that. It was a huge hit. In fact, I think after Fanaa, a lot of politics was played against me in a way. Like if you see, the next time around, I didn't even get nominated for Fanaa.
Okay.
Forget me. Jatin Lalit didn't get nominated.
How come?
Well, there was politics being played. Because it was too much, 2 big hits in a row. So thoda niche karo. Chand Sifarish, which was clearly the song of the year, didn't get song of the year. Didn't get a nomination.
Oh.
The only award that Fanaa got was Kajol for Best Actress, which was, and that she couldn't be put down. And but the others, there were no nominations. I didn't expect to get awards because that was a insane year because that had Fanaa, Munna Bhai, Lage Raho. That had Fanaa, Lage Raho, Rang De Basanti. They all came in that one year.
Right.
So I was very clear that, chalo, I know I'm not going to get an award. I know you don't. Do you make films for awards? Yes, you always want an award. The people live in this. Nahi, mere ko award nahi chahiye, award chahiye. Bullshit. We all want awards also. I've won an award. I know what it feels like to get an award. It feels great. It's still lying in my drawing room. The Filmfare Golden statue is still lying there. I love it. And you want box office also. If you get both, that's great. But that year, I knew that there's no chance because Rang De Basanti was a finer film. Lage Raho Munna Bhai was a better film. They're both very good films, and I know they were going to get the awards. But I said, nomination to de do yaar. And agar mere ko nahi, I felt for Fanaa, at least Kajol and the music deserved an award.
Okay.
Kajol got, music didn't get. Prasun didn't get a nomination. It was Fanaa was the only time, the first song, if you see in the history of Indian cinema, where Chand is not used for the girl. Chand is used, the boy is using Chand for himself. Chand sifarish jo karta hamari. Look at the arrogance of the man. Otherwise, it's always Chand si mehbooba ho, Chand sa roshan chehra, maine pucha Chand se ke dekha hai. It was all Chand and girl, Chand and girl.
Right.
First time is Chand and man. कि मैं ही हूँ सब कुछ. And a word like sifarish. First and last time a word like sifarish has come in a song. Jatin was actually very upset why we use the word sifarish. He said, क्या है सिफारिश?
Request.
मीटर नहीं है, बंद हो जाता है. And no, but मतलब कि जॉब की नौकरी मांगने आया है क्या कि अरे मेरे सिफारिश से आ गया. सिफारिश गाने में कैसे आ सकता है? Nobody liked that. Prasun and me hung on to it. We said नहीं, ये अच्छा है. Adi heard it. He was a little, and then he was like, pulling his mustache. अच्छा है, it's working. Let's keep it. But so that didn't get it. Yeah, so then of course little politics was played. So fine, happens.
But do you then still believe in awards?
I believe in awards.
Okay.
See, I think you got to be like, are the awards today, do they have the same gravitas that they did at the time when I won it? No, they don't. But make a film like 12th Fail and win awards, which is undoubtedly deserved.
Correct.
That is what you need to do. Box office and awards.
Right.
Like I loved what Vidhu Vinod Chopra did in 12th Fail. I think it was brilliant. And what a movie. And small film, 20-25 crore film, underdog. His wife said don't release the film. He released it in theatres. I mean, she said don't release it in theatres. Everyone's heard that story. And he goes on to win Best Director everywhere. That is an award I would love to get. That is an award I would love to get.
The theme is to be taking risks, and I saw another interview of yours where you said that wherever you played it safe, it didn't work, and wherever you took a risk, it always worked.
You have to go. Fanaa was a very unsafe film. It's a love story of a terrorist. Before that, every film of a terrorist has failed, and after that, Mission Kashmir failed. So many films where the heroes are terrorists have always failed. Because who wants to see a love story of a terrorist? A terrorist is the last person you want to see anything of. Unless he's being shot and killed. Which we did also in Fanaa. But we showed a love story of the guy. We showed he's misguided. We showed he's controlled by an external force. And, we showed all that. But yet we were able to convince the audience of his love story. Which I think was one of the most difficult and mad things to do. And for all of us. For Adi, for me, for Amir, for Kajol, for all four of us to pick up that subject and to do it.
How did they agree to it? How did Amir Khan agree to doing Fanaa?
I'll just take half a step back. So after Hum Tum, Adi was like, I have this subject, this writer Shibani has written it. So dekh le agar tere ko achhi lagti hai. I heard it, I loved it. But it was a little dry. All the shairi was not there, the songs were not there, wo trigger nahi tha, it was just a code and all that. So I brought in all this filmy pana. Which Shibani didn't like. So Shibani and me had a lot of fights at that time. But chalo, these things happen, writers are passionate and all that. So we had a lot of fights about it. Shairi she didn't want. So I made the script, and earlier Adi had spoken to Hrithik about the film. So I said, Hrithik's done Mission Kashmir. Wo kyun karega similar setting mein ek aur film? And Hrithik rightfully said कि again Kashmir मेरे को नहीं करना है, हो गया मेरा, ठीक है. Then Adi said किसके पास जाना चाहिए? I said let's go to Amir. He said यार तू तो हर स्क्रिप्ट के लिए आमिर का ही नाम लेता है. I said नहीं, because I really feel he'll suit this character. He said अच्छा वो 2-3 महीने लगाएगा रिप्लाई करने को, फिर 2-3 महीने लगाएगा सुनने को, फिर डिस्कशन होंगी, फिर ये होगा, 1 साल तक तुम्हारी पिक्चर नहीं बनेगी. I said आदि पूछ तो लेते हैं. I messaged Amir. He said come in 2-3 days. I said देखा. He said जाओ बैठो आमिर खान की गोद में. So I went. I narrated to Amir. He said I really like it, but I want to hear it in. I don't know how this will translate into Hindi, because Shibani had written the script in English.
Okay.
So he said I want to hear with the Hindi dialogues and Urdu dialogues, this that. So I said ठीक है, I'll come back to you in a month. He said अरे 1 month you'll finish the dialogues. I said don't worry, हो जाएगा. I said no, take your time. I said, okay. He said, because I can't take a decision till I hear it in Hindi.
Right.
It has to be in Hindi or in Urdu for me to take a decision. I said, ठीक है. So I finished the dialogues in a week.
Wow.
Okay, so Adi told me, he said, यार आमिर को मत बोल के एक हफ्ते में डायलॉग्स लिखे, उसको लगे ठोक दिया तूने, तो बहुत रश कर दिया, ऐसे कर दो, wait for a week, then message. I said, okay. So I messaged Amir after 2 weeks saying, we just finished the dialogues. Do you want to hear it? He said, I'm free tomorrow, कल आजा. I told Adi, I said, देखा, फटाफट बोल रहा है सब. He said, अच्छा देखते हैं अभी क्या होता है. So I went, I narrated to him, he really liked it. He said, Adi को बुला, he called him Adi. Adi को बुला. Adi came, बैठे हैं, बात कर रहे हैं, 3-4 घंटे हो गए.
Wow.
Okay, we're just discussing. So then Adi said, अच्छा आमिर अब ये बता तेरे को करना है कि नहीं करना है. So he said, see, I love the script, I love the dialogue, but I don't know whether, is Kunal the right person or not, I don't know. And I don't know whether, I'm not saying he's not. I'm saying I don't know, because मुझसे दोस्ती करोगे and हम तुम are very different films, this is in a different tangent and league altogether. ये कर पाएगा कि नहीं?
Oh my God.
फिर Adi said, I am 120% convinced that Kunal is the right person for this because he has the maturity and the filmy-pana to make this commercial. Because this can go either way.
Right.
It can be a very non-commercial film and a very serious film because the whole second half is in one house. So it has to be a hardcore commercial film and all that Kunal is excellent at. All the शायरी वारी वो सब वो लेके आया. तो ये discussion चलती रही. Finally he said, अच्छा. I said, Amir, I'll probably regret this all my life. If you're not convinced of me doing this film, don't do it. I can't direct looking over my shoulder के Amir खुश है कि नहीं.
Right.
If you're 120% convinced, then you'd say yes.
Brave of you to do that.
Very brave. And I'm cursing myself. I'm saying, क्या बोल रहा है? Beep,
Was
beep,
the
beep, beep,
right
beep,
thing
beep,
to
beep,
do?
beep. क्यों? चुप बैठ. Then he said, okay. He said, as convinced as I was for Ashu doing Lagan, where I was investing money in the film, I'm that convinced today. Is that good for you, Kunal? I said, that's good for me. Chal karte.
You made him do that. Also, as a director, then you need that freeway to be able to direct.
And you know, hats off to him. Amir didn't agree with the first half of Fanaa.
Okay.
He didn't agree at all. He thought it was too filmy. He said the Ada was too filmy. But he did it exactly what I said. The pre-climax scene in the house, where he comes in, drinks water from the fridge, and Kajol is there, child is there. He wanted to reshoot that.
Okay.
I didn't want to reshoot it. Adi said, chal shoot karte hain. Dobara reshoot karte hain. I said, no. I was not convinced. I didn't reshoot it. I said, no. And we discussed that endlessly. That pre-climax scene, according to Amir and to Adit, wasn't working. I said, no, it is exactly like this. If you do one store higher, Kajol will have to shoot you there only. घर के अंदर ही शूट करना पड़ेगा. Amir acted it out and showed me. I said, अभी मैं तेरे को गोली मार दूंगा. I said, it doesn't work for me.
Wow.
She has to keep it the way it is. So all this thing of Amir interfering and all rubbish. If you don't know your job as a director, then any actor will interfere. If you know your job, he's not going to interfere. Like this, we had this discussion for days. One day, we started in the office, then we went out for lunch, then we went out for dinner. Dinner khatam ho gaya. Below my building, we were sitting and talking till 3 in the morning. This same discussion. Finally, both of them gave up and said, "Acha, theek hai, yaar, tu."
So what happens when an actor wants to do it their way?
See, either you have to convince the other person. So I convinced them what we've done is the right way.
Right thing.
They said, okay, fine, theek hai. On set, if that happened, suppose if this had happened on set, then it would be a different story. Then I wouldn't waste time. Then I'd say, okay, let's shoot both ways.
Okay.
But एक बार shooting हो गई है, तो दोबारा put up the set and redo it, it doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
Unless you convince me fully, then I'll put up the set and do it again. But if I'm not convinced, I won't. So two different approaches for the same thing.
Yeah.
One is on set, I won't waste time and I'll take it in 5 different ways. If you're not on set, then you got to convince me.
Right, makes sense. But I've been told that directors need to have their own way because it's a vision that they are doing and everybody else comes with a part of it. Right?
But you can't be so stuck up also. You can't be so stuck up कि नहीं मैं ही correct हूँ. It has to be teamwork.
Right.
So I was stubborn because I was not agreeing with what they had said before what I've already shot. If I hadn't shot it, it would have been a different story.
Interesting. But tell me what has been like the most challenging shot that you've ever taken? Or like a challenging day, because I've heard that a lot of directors have that, like everything goes wrong one day. Or you know the number of retakes sometimes you have to take off a shot because something is not right.
That doesn't bother me. I I think a challenging day would be that I was doing this web series, Hiccups and Hookups, with Lara and Prateek, Babbar, and I tripped on a cable and fell and broke my nose. And I was bleeding and
Oh my
everything. It was
God.
during COVID.
Oh my God.
And the nurse came to me and I'm saying, dur raho, sanitize karo haath pehle phir aao.
Yeah.
Like everyone's laughing, "Okay, what's wrong with this guy?" And they thought we'll have to cancel shoot, but I shot on with a broken nose. I love challenges.
Yeah.
There was one, the climax of Fanaa when Kajol has shot Amir. I remember there were 3 helicopters on set. 2 were in frame. The third was we were shooting with that helicopter. I reached the set and, there were snowmobiles, 3 helicopters. I was like, wow, I feel like a James Bond film ki shoot chal rahi hai. And then at that moment, Kajol says, I don't like these lines. It's not working. I'm not feeling the emotion.
Oh.
In her typical style. Rubbish lines you written.
Yeah.
I don't like these lines. It's all rubbish. I'm not feeling anything. Change the lines. Now, that's the test of a director. Okay? There are 3 helicopters. There's snowmobiles. There's full unit waiting. Indian crew, Polish crew. Ye, wo, baraf gir rahi hai. Minus 10 degrees. Okay? And your heroine is telling you, I don't like these lines. I'm not feeling the emotion.
At that point.
At that point, you have to think, you have to give her an answer, and you have to tell her why. Either you change the lines or you show her another way to do it. I shut off everything around me. Okay. I just listened to her, understood her problem. Okay. She's not feeling the emotion. I sat down on the floor, kneeled on the floor exactly where she was, and I said, you know what? The problem is not with the lines. The problem is you've kept him on your lap. He's dying. You've shot him. You've kept him on your lap. Don't do that. Hold him and bring him here. Don't let him go. You should be feeling that he's dying. You don't want him to go. Now you keep him on your lap. You're not going to puchkaw him and make him sleep. You have to hold him. His life ja rahi hai. Hold him like this and talk to him like this and then do it. She's like, got it. Take. Hurry up. Take. Like, got a brilliant shot.
Wow.
That was it. That was all that was needed. Focus at that time. Understand what your actor wants. Understand what's bothering your actor. And give them that. Tell them that. That is a director's job. A director's job is not to put up the most fancy shot ever. Yahan se hoga, yahan se hoga. No, where's the emotion coming from? That is what is important. And all that was needed was not to keep his head here, but to hold him like this and say the lines like this.
Such a small change, and what a big impact it had.
And what a big
on
impact
her.
it had. Yeah. And she got it in half a second. I told her that. She said, come on, take.
Wow.
It was just that simple.
What a story.
And sometimes actors do things which surprise you, or which just the process of an actor, like Chintu ji, one of my most favorite people. I love Chintu ji. I mean, for me to talk about him in the past tense also is strange, because I can't believe he's not with me anymore, that he's not with us anymore. His dramatic scenes and all are great. वो सब तो है. All that you've seen. His logic and sense as an actor. We're shooting this dining table scene in Fanaa. Amir, Kajol, Chintu ji and one child. And 10 baje raat ko, they're on the dining table, ghanti bajti hai, and I say, and I tell them, you're in the middle of the conversation. At this point, I'll say ting tong, and your look ke darwaza wahan par hai. ठीक है. I take the shot. I do ting tong. Amir, Kajol, child look over there. Chintu ji looks there. घड़ी की तरफ कि 10 बजे रात को कौन आया.
Wow.
And I said cut it, and I said, Chintu ji, hats off to you, and shame on me as a director for not doing that. He's like, हाँ मैं भी सोच रहा हूँ, तुम्हारे घर में घंटी बजती है, क्या तुम दरवाजे की तरफ देखते हो, तुम घड़ी की तरफ देखते हो ना कि इतने बजे कौन आया.
Attention to detail.
Attention to detail. That Rishi Kapoor is a master of that. Master. He does the smallest of things which you won't see as an audience, but it all adds up to his process. Same film, Fanaa. Amir is lying on the sofa. Chintu ji and Kajol come from outside. There's a fireplace in the middle, and they walk. They say one dialogue and walk. And Kajol comes. And outside there's a snowstorm going on. She comes, she walks, she goes past. Chintu ji comes. As he walks past the fireplace, he just secos his hand like this and he goes.
Because that's what anybody would do.
That's what anyone would do when you come from a snowstorm outside.
And it needs to look real.
what Kajal do was wrong? No. But did what he do was right?
Right.
Yes. He just added a little extra to it, which you will not even see, which you will not even notice as acting.
Correct.
That is acting. That is performance. In Hum Tum, there's this scene, he walks through the door. Just walks through the door and he has to play the answering machine. For that shot, he said, give me a thela, give me a keychain with 5-6 keys, give me some letters and all that have come. And one of the assistants asked, sir, why 5-6 keys? तो he said, अच्छा बेटे सुनो, मैं अकेले रह रहा हूँ इस घर में, एम्स्टर्डम में मैं अकेले रह रहा हूँ इस घर में. मेरे पास गराज की चाबी होगी, मेरे पास गाड़ी है तो गराज की चाबी होगी, कार की चाबी होगी, नीचे लेटर बॉक्स खोलने की चाबी होगी, घर की चाबी होगी, तो 4 चाबियां तो होंगी एक किचन में. तो एटलीस्ट दैट. एंड देन व्हेन आई हैव कम होम, व्हेन यू लिव अलोन, यू पिक अप लेटर्स दिस दैट फ्रॉम योर मेल बॉक्स एंड कम इन. और मैंने कुछ शॉपिंग वॉपिंग किया होगा तो ये है, ये सब मुझे ला के दो अभी शॉट देने से पहले. You don't even realize all these things, but he adds all this as an actor.
Oh, wow.
That is the process of an actor. That is the process of a director. You learn so much from legends like that. The other day I met this young actor. We are having lunch. So he told me, he said, sir, आजकल ऐसे क्यों हो रहा है कि मीटिंगें होती हैं, डिस्कशन होता है, सब कुछ होता है और सेट पे सब कुछ जल्दी 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 होता है, ख़त्म करो. आई सेड बिकॉज यू नो तू मेरे सेट पे नहीं आया. आई सेड नॉट दैट आई टेक टाइम टू शूट, बट ऑन सेट इज द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग वेयर इट इज़ हार्ट ब्रेकिंग टू सी people on their phones, people on Instagram reels. You should be thinking of all these things, adding these little elements that Rishi Kapoor's caliber of actors would add. If the actor's not adding it, the director needs to add it. And you don't need to rush into shots to finish the work. You need to focus on all these things to make your film that much of a epic. Sometimes it's not just the story. Sometimes stories are very ordinary, but the way they've been portrayed is great. So that's what makes a good director a good actor. That he does better than what is on the paper. Better than the script. You have a good script, great. But you go better than that script. That's what is important.
Do you think that comes with experience, which is why our legendary actors are much better and the new age actors are still learning?
No, I think it comes with passion. I think it comes with passion because I see there are some new age actors who you see their initial work and you say, "Arey yaar, ye to acha actor hai." I see new age young actors, and I won't say the ones in our 30s now because they're not young actors anymore. They've been in the industry for 10 years. I know new people who've come in like Zahan Kapoor in Black Warrant. What a lovely performance. Abhay Verma in Munjia. What a good performance. He's a good actor. These are good actors who are going to explode one day, hopefully.
Yeah.
But you can see कि इनमें कुछ बात है. So I think that Medha Shankar, what a lovely actor. What a performance she's given in 12th Fail.
Yes.
Pratibha Ranta in Lapata Ladies.
Sure.
These don't look like first timers, which is what it should be. Which is what it should be. Your first film should not look like your first film. Why should you be so raw? Otherwise, don't do your first film. If you're not ready, don't do your first film.
Are they more hungry for the work that they're getting?
I feel these people are there. Yeah, there's a hunger. There's a hunger. There's a यार मेरे को एक मौका मिला मैं prove करके जाता हूँ.
That's what is needed.
People like Nawaz, Pankaj Tripathi, you see some films of 15 years back, 20 years back, you say, अरे ये तो नवाज है, इतना छोटा रोल किया उसने.
Yes.
यार वो उतने टाइम से स्ट्रगल कर रहा है बेचारा, उसको काम नहीं मिला, बट वो करते क्या? There was a dedication and a passion. So I think that dedication and passion is what is important. That focus on the job. That you don't spend your time on set doing faltu stuff, but working on set. I get so upset when on set I hear pack up and everyone gets excited to go home. I'm like, मजा क्या है?
Then what's the point? Even I don't. Like anybody says, oh my god, Monday is the most boring day. I was like, Monday is most exciting for me. I look forward to it.
Yeah, that chalo, let's start the week. Let's start working. You should be happiest on set. You should be sad to go home.
Also, for the movie industry, I think audiences can then see it.
Yeah.
How passionate somebody. As an audience, I mean, I can tell that this person has put so much effort into what they are doing because it's an actor, you can tell.
And you know, it is, stories are similar. You know, like I remember, I'll talk about Chintu ji again. When I narrated the role to him, he said, I'm not doing this role. I said, why? Guest appearance, मुझे नहीं करना है. क्या है? बकवास है. 7 तो सीन दिए तुमने मेरे को. नहीं करना है मुझे. I said, सर आप एक सीन सुन लो पहले, फिर ना बोलो. Then he heard, हाँ ये भी अच्छा है, हाँ ये भी अच्छा है. He said, तो और सीन लिखो ना.
हम तुम.
हाँ. He said, तो फिर और सीन लिखो ना. Give me some more scenes. Why should I do a guest appearance? I said, sir, I can have more scenes. I can have you in more scenes. You'll just be hanging around here. Every time you come, there's an impact.
There's an impact.
I said, every scene of yours, there's an impact. Every dialogue, there's an impact. I said, मैं डालने को 10 और scene में डाल दूंगा. उसका impact नहीं होगा. हाँ ठीक है, चलो करते हैं. I said, okay, thank you.
No, but it was impactful because every time we came, he had a different whole entire story in himself, that character.
Yeah, and he changed the narrative of the film. That's what was wonderful about him. And also, like I said, the amount he brought as an actor, I realized on set. The amount he brings as an actor. That was the first time I was working with him. Oh my God. And you know, you have to pamper your actors. You have to treat them like little children. You have to spoil your actors. You have to make a nice environment for them to perform. Because they are going to bring out your vision. And that doesn't mean you spoil them that 6 makeup van ले रहे हैं और ये time pass हो रहा है और late आ रहे हो. नहीं. That means on set, I'll give you what you want. Set, I'll give you a comfortable environment to execute the shot. That's what I'll give you, and I'll give you a great performance to deliver. That's what I'll give you on set. Yeah, extracurricular cheeze ka that's not called pampering an actor.
Right. But also the movies that you've made at that time sometimes have not worked at the box office, but are like cult classics now. Like some of our favorite movies.
You know, I feel...
Break Ke Baad is one of my favorites. I don't know how it didn't work at that time. You know, Imran had come on the show over here. And he spoke about how much fun it was just to be able to make that movie. And then when we were singing the songs, because we had an audience that day, and we were singing it, and he felt alive, he said that day. When we were, you know, singing the songs of the movie.
But I think there was a problem in Break Ke Baad. I don't think it was as well made as the script.
In what sense?
I think that could have been a better film.
With the way it was shot?
Everything.
The characters?
Yeah, I feel it could have been a much better film. I mean, they're all my friends. Danish is a very dear friend. I gave him his first break as a director. But I feel we missed a couple of things. Like, the film should have had lip sync songs. Okay. See, you're saying we sung the songs. We didn't in the film. No one was singing the songs. There was this whole stupid trend of lip sync गाने नहीं होने चाहिए. Lip sync गाने रंग दे बसंती में work करते हैं. Non lip sync गाने रंग दे बसंती में work करते हैं because that's a different mood. There's a different feel and vibe. Romantic song has to be lip sync. There is no question about it. The same song, अजब लहर है मेरी पड़ोसी. Now imagine Imran singing that song.
Yeah.
क्या मजा आता अगर इमरान वो गाने गाता.
धूप के मकान और.
धूप के मकान. If he sang that, I would feel his pain.
Okay.
I would feel Imran's pain if he sang Dhoop Ke Makan. If he sang Ajab Leher, I would see the masti between the two. If he sang Adhure, I would see the thing. What an album it is. Yeah. A few days back, I met Shekhar on Carter Road. I go for a walk to Carter Road sometimes. He was there in Starbucks. Sujoy Ghosh, and he was sitting there. So I said, yaar, Shekhar, kya album banai thi tum log ne? Vishal, what an album Break Ke Baad. Every song is a super hit. We didn't do lip sync. वो lip sync नहीं किया गानों का.
That's what went wrong according to you.
Huge mistake. I should have put my foot down as a producer.
Okay.
I listened to the director and the actor at that time and said, अच्छा चल ठीक है कर ले. Do it that way. The songs would have been a bigger hit had they been. You don't remember a visual of the song. If I tell you now, tell me the visuals of Ajab Leher, you can't tell me. But you remember the song.
I remember the song. Wow.
But tell me the visuals of Ajab Leher, you can't. Why? Because there's no song picturization. It's all montages, one after the other. And there's no... Imagine if Imran had sung that. Ajab leher hai meri padosi. Super hit Gana. He didn't lip sync it.
Now that I think about it, yeah.
There's no lip sync, so you don't remember the visuals. I can't remember the visuals. I've sat on the edit of that song. I don't remember the visuals of that song. Little bit of the house I remember because I was there while it was being shot. But there is no recall value because there is no lip sync. The moment I say tujhe dekha, you see Shah Rukh Khan standing there.
Dude, actually...
The moment I say ladki kyun na jaane kyun, you see Saif standing there. But you say Ajab Leher, you can't put a visual to it because he's not he's not done lip sync.
Because I just thought about I Hate Love Stories and he's singing it, so I do remember the shots that he
Same hero, I Hate Love Stories. He's done lip sync. You remember the visuals?
Yeah, I remember.
That one decision to not do lip sync can change the course of a film.
Wow.
It can change the course of a film. So I feel that was a very big mistake that was made in Break Ke Baad. Very big mistake.
I also think that some movies timing maybe is wrong, because if you release that movie today, it would have worked better because the audiences have matured.
Possibly, but I don't think so, because I still feel that it could have been these things you can't. I mean, like.
Actually, if you say, even Hum Tum was ahead of its time.
Hum Tum was way ahead of its time.
And it worked.
And no, but I'll tell you something. Indian audiences have always been ahead of their time. Always. Prem Rog was a similar film. Prem Rog had a story of a young girl who becomes a widow and then she wants to get married again. Prem Rog had that.
Right.
20 years before Hum Tum. Indian cinema has always been very progressive. Andaz, Rajesh Khanna, guest appearance, Shami Kapoor, Hema Malini. Hema Malini has a child out of marriage in 1970.
And people were accepting of
Accepting it was a blockbuster. Zindagi Ki Safar Hai Suhana is still today one of the biggest hit songs ever of Hindi cinema. Andaz was a blockbuster hit. Rajesh Khanna, Shami Kapoor and Hema Malini. Blockbuster hit. Aradhana, same thing happened. Rajesh Khanna has an affair with Sharmila Tagore, has a child and dies. Rajesh Khanna on screen had a lot of illegitimate children and the women had the children. They were so advanced in the story. The stories were so advanced.
Yeah.
The stories were so Indian cinema has always been advanced. The audiences have always been progressive. So timing doesn't go wrong.
Okay.
Sometimes the film goes wrong.
But as a director, do you look at what's happening in and around today's time and then pick up those themes and create a story? Or do you make it up on whatever you've seen through the years?
I think you got to make it up whatever you've seen through the years, because you cannot ask an audience or a customer what they want because they don't know. Who would have been able to say, I need an iPhone? Who would have been able to say, कि मुझे iPhone की ज़रूरत है? कोई नहीं बोल सकता था. Steve Jobs had to invent the iPhone.
Right.
Then Apple always creates products that you never knew you needed.
But you know what directors are doing now, right? One genre is working and then they all make, like horror is working, so now everybody will make horror.
Horror has always worked. Every genre has always worked. Ramsey brothers made their whole career and their whole company and their factory on horror films. At that time, people used to even laugh at them, so they were treated like horror comedies without actually being horror comedies. It is not a genre that works.
Okay.
Like today, always all the heroes say, yeah, rom-coms aren't working. See now, this film didn't work. See now, that wasn't a good film, yeah.
Yeah, true.
It wasn't a good film, that's why it didn't work. It didn't work because, नहीं मेरे को rom-com नहीं देखनी है बस. मैंने audience में decide कर दिया मैं rom-com नहीं देखूँगा.
We really need rom-coms. But
you tell the heroes you interview to do it. The heroes don't want to do it because the heroine ka role is bigger than theirs or as big.
Oh.
Tell me a love story where the hero's role is bigger than the heroine's. It's not possible. Every love story, the heroine's role is actually bigger. DDLJ is more Kajol's film. Hum Aapke Kaun is more Madhuri's film. Hum Tum is more Rani's film. Jab We Met is more Bebo's film.
But you have to see the success of the movie as a whole, right?
That intelligence of heroes is stored in some cupboard and locked away somewhere. They're not seeing this. They want everything for themselves. The heroes are not seeing that today, which is why they are also suffering. The industry is suffering. Music industry is also suffering.
Yeah.
Music industry is not there only today.
Yeah. All they're doing is remixing old songs.
Because there's no situation for romance. And they're saying romantic film नहीं चलती. देखा ये नहीं चली. देखा वो नहीं चली. अरे वो अच्छी फिल्में नहीं थी. You have to, in a romantic film, like I said earlier, give importance to the heroine. That heroine's character has to be built up. You win that heroine's love, then you're a hero. That we are not doing. That is the problem.
If you had to remake a Bollywood movie today, which one would you do?
Break Ke Baad.
Remake your own movie. But you should. I'm sure Imran is up for it.
I would love to remake Break Ke Baad. I would love to remake it and I'd use exactly the same songs. I wouldn't change a single song. And the album is so good, I wouldn't need to remix it also. Because it still sounds so fresh. Vishal Shekhar have done such a brilliant job, it still sounds so fresh. I would love to remake Break Ke Baad. Actually, a film that is not mine, that I would love to remake is... I don't know. Because sometimes when you love a film so much, you don't feel like touching it.
Yeah.
You're like, isko rehne do. But one film I would love to remake is Break Ke Baad.
And where do you take all your inspiration for these stories from? Are there any international movies, other directors that you look at?
No.
No?
No. I look at people.
Okay.
I look at characters. I look around me. I see I see so many filmmakers who go every morning to office. I'm like, why are you going to office? Okay, you opened a production house, but office में जाके क्या करना है? वही 4 assistants के सामने बैठना है, वही तुम्हारी वाहवाकारी करेंगे, वही होगा. Go sit, travel, look around you, find a story. Office में बैठने से घर से office, office से घर, you're not going to get a story.
True.
Leave your car, go by train, go by plane if you want, go anywhere, but just go, travel, walk on the road, see people, just observe people. Your stories are there, your characters are there. I was shooting for Fanaa, reached set at 5:30 in the morning, Delhi. ये आदमी झाड़ू मार रहा था. Okay, I was having chai at 5:30. He didn't know I was the director, so he said, यहाँ shooting हो रही है आज. I said, अच्छा, किसकी shooting हो रही है? आमिर और कजलो. I said, अच्छा, आमिर और कजलो. सर कौन है? कुणाल कोहली की पिक्चर है. I said, अच्छा, कुणाल कोहली की पिक्चर है. वो झाड़ू मार रहा है. Okay.
No way.
Then I just smiled. I said, मैं कुणाल कोहली हूँ. He's मारूंगी झाड़ू. He just looks at me. हो भी सकते हो. No, this is a character.
Wow.
ये character है.
This is how people
The way
are.
he's just हो भी सकते हो.
He's not bothered.
He's not bothered. है ही नहीं, फिक्र ही नहीं है. Now you can use these characters. But if I had reached set and got into my makeup van and sat and had tea in my makeup van and told my assistants, call me when the shot is ready.
Right.
नहीं होगा. Do you know Shah Rukh doesn't sit in his makeup van? He sits on set. He's on set, always. Ask any director who's worked with him. I've not worked with him, but I've seen him. He's always on set. He doesn't go and sit in the makeup van. Because, see, he's reached a position where he can't do this. He can't be so connected with people. But at least people on a set, people on a unit, he can be connected with. He doesn't lock himself up in a... Anyway, he's locked up in a, in his house because of security reasons and all. Fine. But when he's on set, he's on set. He's like sort of free. So you have to have interaction with people.
You have to constantly learn, right?
You have to constantly learn. It's a daily learning. Before this, you asked me, are you fully versed with Instagram? Do you fully know it? I learn it every day. Everything is a challenge. I use AI now. I use AI all the time because it's a tool. It's a tool to help me. Not to do repetitive work myself. Am I scared of it? Not at all. Every day I go on set, I'll see something, I'll see one light, I'll say, अरे ये क्या है? Then I'll tell the lightman, अरे मेरे को समझा यार ये क्या होता है? इससे क्या होता है? I don't feel ashamed in saying I don't know something. Learn. Then you can use it somewhere.
Very interesting. I'm taking the information in.
That's the way to be. You got to learn. You can't be. मैं हीरो हूँ, मैं डायरेक्टर हूँ, मुझे सब पता है, जो मैं बोलता हूँ वो करो. अरे छोड़ो यार. There's this lovely line I read somewhere. तुझसे पहले भी ऐसे कई आए थे. तुझसे पहले भी ऐसे कई आए थे जिन्हें अपने खुदा होने पर यकीन था.
Intense.
There were many before you who knew that they were God. They were convinced they were God. Because they know everything. They know acting, they know directing, they know everything.
Then there's no.
And our industry was filled with people like that.
Yeah. Is it difficult to work with such people?
And then I think the other new thing that I started, you won't ask me this, but I'll say it, I'll talk about it. Block bookings.
Oh, yeah.
Block bookings, external forces. What is this rubbish we're doing? Matlab, we make the film, we release the film, then we only buy tickets to watch the film.
Does that really happen?
Of course it happens. You see all the websites the websites talk about it, the media talks about it.
Yes.
There were block bookings, there are block bookings. Why are you doing block booking? Because the reason you're doing block booking is what? Ego. To pamper that star. To not show him the reality. To pamper that director, to pamper that producer, to pamper that star. कि देखो भैया मेरी आपकी पिक्चर ने इतना तो कर दिया, फर्स्ट डे इतना कर दिया, फिर बाकी गलती डायरेक्टर की थी कि पिक्चर चली नहीं, मैं तो एज एन एक्टर इतना ले आया. और for the director to say, see, I got this, audience didn't understand my film, or whatever, or you just pump up. Why are you doing this? Who remembers what the collections of Sholay are? But it ran, na? Whether Sholay made 1,000 crores or 900 crores doesn't matter. It's a great film. That's what matters. And when a film works, you don't need to do anything.
Yeah, you really don't need to.
Pushpa, you don't need to do anything. Na? Stree 2, you don't need to do anything. चल गई ना पिक्चर. थोड़ा इधर फीडिंग, थोड़ा उधर. What is this? Why are we doing this?
They're creating the hype so that more people eventually go by. But then if you're going and
nobody gets fooled.
Yeah, true.
Nobody gets fooled with that. Nobody and nobody believes those numbers. So what are you doing? But what you're doing is a very harmful thing because you're making an actor believe, or the actor is convincing himself कि नहीं ये इतना तो मैंने कर दिया. You haven't done it. Accept it. Till you don't accept your failure, you can't be successful again. And everybody's failed in life. The biggest directors, biggest actors have failed. It's fine. It's okay. How you bounce back from that is what is important.
And then
I've given super hits and I've given super flops. It's okay. I have to admit I went wrong. I'm saying I went wrong in Break Ke Baad. Okay, sometimes you don't understand. Like when I did Teri Meri Kahani with Shahid Kapoor, Priyanka, I didn't understand what went wrong with the film. Maybe I'll understand one day. Lovely music, lovely picturization of songs, great song. I don't know what went wrong. People say, no, anthologies don't work, 3 different stories don't work. Why? They should work. If I'd done it correctly, it would have worked. It should have worked. I did something wrong where it didn't connect. So वो मेरी गलती है. But I can't blame an audience, or I can't blame a genre कि anthologies don't work. No. There was something missing in Teri Meri Kahani that the film didn't work. It should have worked. It was a good film. It was a good star cast. It had good music. It had excellent song picturizations. What went wrong? I don't know right now, but they'll find out.
And how do you deal with a movie not working? What do you go through when like a movie say flopped?
You have to accept it, realize your mistakes and move on. And don't blame anyone but yourself. Is it easy for me to say that actor director didn't listen to me in Break Ke Baad? Yeah, it's easy for me to say it, but I should have convinced them. My fault as a producer. I should have put my foot down. तो जितनी उनकी गलती है उतनी उससे थोड़ा ज़्यादा मेरी गलती है. Why it didn't work. So that is very important. Accept what went wrong and move on. Don't keep living in that. Same as success. Same as success. See what went right. Forget it. Move on. आगे बढ़ो. Don't try and repeat it. Don't try and repeat that because you can't. That's why after Hum Tum I did a Fanaa. Because I knew I could not repeat that.
Right.
And after Fanaa I tried to do Thoda Pyar Thoda Magic, but that was a different story. There was a lot of things went wrong in the making of the film. So I wasn't surprised it didn't work. I knew it's not going to work. Oh. And see, sometimes you know it's not going to work. Sometimes you know.
Really?
Yeah. If you're very honest now, you know it's not going to work.
Oh, so what do you do when you know?
Just like sort of just let it go. You know कि अच्छा ये तो गलत गई. अब now let it go and work harder for the next time.
Okay.
I think I've heard and I've seen this once. We were at someone's house. Salman was there and people were talking about his film. Bhai, this film is coming. He said, not going to work. Bhai, this film is not going to work. Arey, but this one to, वो तो कभी नहीं चलेगी. And everyone thought he's just fooling around. But he wasn't. None of those films that he said are not going to work didn't work. I think he's one guy who's so honest about. Most of the time he knows when something's gone wrong. Sometimes you can't, things just go wrong and you can't help it.
You can't pinpoint, yeah.
You can't know, or it just goes beyond your control and a film goes wrong. So then you just finish it and let it go and work harder the next time around. When you can control it, then you try and repair it and everything. Obviously, no one works on a film to let it just go. But sometimes forces don't let you correct it or things just don't happen your way. And it goes. But the power is of knowing that. The reason why people like Salman and all have survived for so long is because they've accepted their failures. They've taken it on their chin. And they've gone on and come out with something else.
And that takes a lot of courage and like willpower.
It takes a lot of courage and willpower. It takes a lot of honesty. It takes a lot of honesty to be honest and say, I went wrong. And I feel it's the most wonderful thing to do. Because when you can say I was right, then come on.
That everyone is saying for you.
That everyone is saying for you, you don't need to say. And success has many fathers, as they say. ना सब बोलते हैं मेरी वजह से हिट हुई, मेरी वजह से हिट हुई, ठीक है. तब फ्लॉप होती है तो सिर्फ डायरेक्टर की वजह से होती है.
What do you do in a case where you get like a bad review? Something that stood out?
Initially you want to go and hit the person.
Thanks for saying the truth.
Initially you want to go hit the person, slap the person, all this you want to do. Then later on you realize कि अच्छा नहीं यार, somewhere he is not wrong. और then you realize कि ये तो पर्सनल कोई प्रॉब्लम है मेरे साथ, तो ये ऐसे बोला है या बोला गया है उसको बोलने को, तो ये ऐसे कर रहा है. And then you accept and move on. Our industry is all about perseverance.
Yeah.
It's all about perseverance. After how long someone like Hansal Mehta got success with Scam 92? You know, after how many years of being in the industry? After as a filmmaker, as a director, not as a producer, he had many success. As a director, Vinod Chopra's got a hit after how many years? Anil Sharma, after how many years he got another hit? 24 years, Gadar to Gadar.
Wow. Yeah, what a massive success.
But it came, na? Because that maturity is there, that level is there, that persistence is there, कि नहीं, I will do it. मैं तो करूँगा.
So you keep going.
You keep going. You have to keep going. You can't give up. See, you give up, everyone around you will give up. Everyone who's around you will give up. But if you carry on, everyone will carry on.
But you need to be strong in an industry where everything is so public.
Yeah.
In other industries, you can like hide behind it and be like, okay, nobody knows. Here, like, everybody knows.
Yeah.
I heard a director say that going to the party after your movie has flopped is a difficult thing to do.
Now, what I'm going to ask that director is, so did you make the film to go into a party and get a Wawa car?
No, but even if you don't, sometimes you feel, right? Oh my God, the movie has like not done well.
I don't care.
Oh, you don't?
I'm gone with my head held high. I don't care because that's not defining me. I've seen a reel on Instagram where Rajkumar said that after every flop I increase my price. The actor Rajkumar. He said because Rajkumar didn't fail, the film failed. So,
Right.
but a director can't say that because director is the one who's made the film. But I'm like, okay, so what? Have I only made flops in my life?
No.
Then it's a different. If I've only made flops in my life, then that's a different thing. That I'm not even qualified to be a director. But if I've given some blockbusters and given some cult films, फिर तो बात है ना मुझ में. I can do it again.
Yeah.
I've gone wrong. So what? I'll go right again. I've been through that graph. I started with a flop film, then I gave a hit film, then I gave a hit film, then I gave a flop film. I'll come back. I'll give another one. Big deal.
I think a lot of young people need to hear you and understand that that happens, because what happens in the generation today is that when we look at failures, we get very, very bogged down by it.
I think more than that, they get very taken in by their success. इतना सा success मिल जाता है अपने आप को पता नहीं क्या समझने लगते हैं.
That is true.
I have seen directors who behave like superstars when they enter the set or when they enter Soho House or any party or any office. They behave like God knows what, and I'm like, who's this guy? Acha, he's made this film. Huh, that was a hit film, but इतनी सी hit थी ना. इतना क्या उछल रहा है यार? इतना क्या उछल रहा है?
हाँ.
तो come to the public, ask if they know your name. नहीं पता है तेरा नाम तो ठहर ना अभी और कर ना. You'll get there. I'm not saying you won't get there. But at least do something to get there, na?
That's usually one hit, and I think if you are humble is when you last.
And it's a small hit. It's a chota sa hit. It's a Ando Mein Khana Raja hit. At least make an all-time hit, na? Make an all-time blockbuster. Do something, and then if you do it, then you don't need to do all this.
But it does get into your head, like the short-term successes. Again, in this industry, because, you know, we've heard that everybody around you is constantly hyping you up. That's a thing.
So why do you get taken in? I've never got taken in by all this. I've never got taken in. Never. Do you know what's the first thing I did after I won my first award? I went to Yash Chopra's house.
Okay.
To thank him. That was the first. Me and Prasoon, both of us went. Screen awards were the first. We got screen. I got best director. Prasoon got best lyrics. And we both went in the middle of the night to his house, to Yash Ji's house. We said, चलो पहले यश जी के घर चलते हैं. उनकी वजह से तो हम यहाँ हैं. We could have gone out partying, drinking. वो भी किया, but पहले उधर गए. Acknowledge किया. अच्छा, and then किया. अच्छा चलो. And then yeah, we spent that year going for all award functions, thinking और awards मिलेंगे. Filmfare मिला, उसके बाद नहीं मिला. But you do all that, you enjoy, but then you move on, yeah. You move on, and ठीक है, हो गया. And because I probably came with the failure first, and I came from music videos and TV, and also I'd seen all this. I had seen what happens. I'd seen the highs and the lows. So
also, not a lot of people know that Varun Dhawan is your cousin.
Yeah.
And yeah, so did you grow up around the set? Like, how was it working with
So
him?
we didn't grow up on the set because see, so Varun's mom is my Masi.
Yeah, David Dhawan is your uncle.
Yeah. So Varun's mother, Lali Masi, she's my Masi. My mother's the oldest and Lali Masi is the youngest. So we all grew up together as cousins. We're a close-knit family. Even Manish is related, Manish Malhotra. He's my mom's cousin.
Okay.
So Manish is actually my second mama.
Oh. Did you grow up on set? Did you watch?
We didn't actually grow up on set. We grew up together. At that time, while I was growing up, David Uncle was an editor.
Okay.
So I would discuss editing with him sometimes. Once in a while, I'd go while he used to be staying in a building in Bandra called Dharamjot, and below was his editing room in Dimple Theatre, Rajinder Kumar's editing room. So I'd go there a couple of times and watch him editing and all that. By the time he became a director, I was struggling in TV, so I was on my sets in any case. So I was anyway on a film set or a studio set. So I didn't go on his sets that much.
Okay.
But we'd be in the house all the time, they'd be in my house all the time, so we grew up like that. I mean, Sometimes at some party or function or something, Varun comes up to me, Kunu bhaiya, and everyone's like, Kunu bhaiya? Ye kya ho gaya? So, yeah.
Did you learn some tricks and directing and like anything from there?
From David Uncle?
Yeah.
See, I think the one thing I'll never forget is I casually happened to be at his house one day and there was a lot of stress. They were editing Insaf. I was in college at that time.
Okay.
And it was Vinod Khanna's comeback film. And VK wasn't very happy with one sequence. And Mukul Anand was stressed. I mean, can you imagine Mukul Anand, Vinod Khanna, both are not there anymore. Mukul Anand was very stressed about one sequence. So Mukul Anand, David Dhawan, Nitin Manmohan, Vinod Khanna were all discussing one sequence and how to make it better. And David Uncle told everyone, all of you all just get out from here, let me do it. All of you all get out. So everyone left. And I used to chat a lot with Mukul also in those days. And Mukul was very good with aspiring filmmakers and everyone. He would talk to us and all. And I knew Vinod Khanna personally from my family days. He was a close friend of my mom's side of the family. Okay. So Vinod Khanna also knew me. So we were sitting and chatting. Vinod Khanna, me, Mukul, we were all sitting and chatting outside. I was a college kid just happy to talk to the director. VK I knew from childhood, so it wasn't like, it was a fascination like that कि Vinod Khanna के साथ बात कर रहा हूँ, because he was like, almost like I'd grown up in front of him. Then David Uncle called us into the editing room, and what he had done was he intercut two scenes of Dimple dying and Vinod Khanna walking on one in the jetty. He intercut those two scenes and he showed it, and everyone was like, wow. And I was, as a college student, I was like, shit, acha, editing isko bolte hain. Editing is not putting shots together. Editing is telling a story in a different way. Shots डालना तो कोई भी डाल सकता है. Shot तो कोई भी जोड़ सकता है. And this was not in Avid and all ka time or today's Final Cut Pro and all that time. No, this was on film, reel, splice होके cut रहा है, that way to edit.
Yeah.
So all this David Uncle did in like 2-3 hours and showed it to everybody, and everybody was blown. Ke, wow, what is, he just changed the whole narrative. That is editing. So I would somehow pick up things like this and hear discussions. If I was ever staying over at the house when Rohit Varun were very small, I would hear David Uncle discussing with Mukul and things that Mukul and David Uncle were very close. They were very close. Mukul Anand and David Uncle were very close, and Mukul would almost every day be discussing his films with David Uncle. So I would just hear conversations like that and try to grasp. As I didn't even realize I was grasping things or talking to Mukul while he was there and all.
But tell me, Kunal, I've read an entire article that says why a director should not be a producer, and you're both. So how is that?
So I was a director and had my most successful films not as a producer. As a producer, I've not had that much success because sometimes I put in too much. I've lost money. I have lost money. I've gone back years. Okay. In Teri Meri Kahani, I went back like 5-7 years in debt. And I was in debt after Teri Meri Kahani. That also because, I was cheated on the film. So the thing is, I feel a producer can be a director, but you got to wear that hat very intelligently. When I did that, I was over passionate and over trusting. I think the only mistake I made was trust. I trusted the wrong people. Today I'm wiser. Today I will probably get back into production this year, but with a lot more scars to learn from, a lot more wounds to learn from. Okay, this is where I've gone wrong. I think there's no rule like that about producer-director. Jasji's been a producer-director. Raj Kapoor has been a producer-director. So many producer-directors who've done well. But I think you need to have a very good trusting producer. Like Farhan and Ritesh are an ideal team of producer-director. There's 100% trust between them. Ritesh is a brilliant producer. A brilliant mind as a producer. And Farhan's a very good director who's supported very well by Ritesh. So I think they make a very good producer-director team. Adi and me made a wonderful producer-director team. We were really good as a producer-director team. So I think that's, I think sometimes, you just got to have the right tuning.
And what is next for you?
I've got 2-3 films which I'm working on. Hopefully they should all happen this year. And and I just want to make hardcore commercial Hindi cinema. because I feel that's missing.
That is missing.
Because OTT directors are trying to do commercial cinema, which they don't know how to do. They're better in OTT, so you stick on OTT. Young directors who no problem with the youth and anything like that, but with inexperience and छोटे hits करके तुम वही फिल्में दोबारा बना रहे हो, 10 बार बना रहे हो with no success. Either you change your style of making. See, you can't get different results doing the same things.
Correct.
You want different results, do things differently. So I feel that comfort zone actor directors get into is also very boring for the industry. But I'm hoping this year I'm going to break that and get into and make some very interesting films. At least 2 films I want to make this year.
Can't wait. But tell me also, if you had to tell a love story today, what different theme would you pick? How Hum Tum was very different, and then Mujhse Dosti Karo, everything different.
The feeling in one's stomach when one sees someone one is attracted to is the same. It's the same in 1940, same
Love
in 60, 70, 2010, 2020. The feeling you get when you're attracted to somebody is the same. Okay? This generation needs this, needs that. प्यार प्यार होता है. Okay, वो गुदगुदी जो दिल में होती है, वो पेट में कुछ एहसास होता है, वो धड़कन मिस होती है, वो होगी ही. Whether you are Devanand or Rajesh Khanna or Amitabh Bachchan or Shah Rukh Khan or Varun Dhawan, that feeling will be the same. Okay? The story has to be interesting. There's nothing you need to do ke is generation. No, that's all rubbish. Okay? There's no, you make an andaz, today it will work. You make a Hum Tum, today it will work. Pushpa is like a 1975 का story in that respect. It's a Bachchan story of 1975. मैं आया वैन में तो मैं जाऊंगा थोड़ी ना चल के, मैं वैन खरीद के जाऊंगा. That's like Bachchan of Diwar or Bachchan of Trishul. It's the same story. But the presentation is new. So it's not that for the millennial kids or Gen X or X or whatever kids haven't come from Mars. No? They've come from here only. The feeling when a boy will for the first time hold a girl's hand is the same, na?
Same.
In 2020 and as it was in 1920.
Yeah.
So then make a good love story, have good music. That's it. Don't overthink for this generation I have to do this.
Right. Which a lot of people are trying to please.
कुछ होता है तभी भी चली थी, कुछ होता है आज भी चलेगी. That feeling of कुछ होता है will work today also because कुछ होता है. So you can't say ये generation के बच्चों को कुछ नहीं होता है.
अलग होता है, अलग.
हाँ, इनको कुछ अलग होता है. इनको रोमांस तुम फोन पे दिखाओ. नहीं होता है ऐसे.
That feeling is the same, but the
feeling
way
is the
things are
same.
done
Has
is
the food
different.
changed? खाना चेंज हुआ है क्या? हाँ, एक सुशी आ गया, लेकिन सुशी है क्या? चावल में लपेट के मीट डाला है ना, या चावल पे लपेट के ये डाला है. भाजी है ही वो ही ना, रोटी सब्जी सब सेम है, खाना वही खा रहे हैं. तो फूड, सिनेमा इज फूड, रोमांस इज फूड. It's the same. Nothing. It's yes, your packaging changes, your locations, all that. Those are external things. Your basic gut of the story is the same. That's it. That's all it is.
Now I'm going to give you some actors, okay? And I want to know what role would you like to see them in today? Okay. So I'm going to start with, say, Saif. What role would you like to see him in today?
I want to see him like I saw him in Love Aajkal or in Hum Tum. I want to see him in a romantic film again. I don't know why he's not doing romantic films. He will be so good. The style, the class, the grace that he's got. I would love to see Saif in a romantic film again. His timing, brilliant. His expression of love, brilliant. I'm dying to see Saif in a romantic film.
Okay, and if I had to say Hrithik?
Hrithik really needs a love story.
That's true.
Hrithik really needs to do a love story or maybe a period film. Not so far back, not like Jodha Akbar types also, but just like...
He suits the period movies. He's very
good for a period film. A larger-than-life period film with romance thrown in.
Okay, Rani.
Anything. Rani ko koi bhi role de do. She is brilliant.
Okay.
Rani in any film. I mean, you give her Mardangi, the Mardani, you give her romantic, you give her that Mrs. Chatterjee versus Norway. Kuch bhi de do.
Okay. And what about Kajol?
Similar. कुछ भी दे दो. They are just too good, yeah. They are too good. Rani Kajol are like absolutely brilliant. Any film you give them, they're great.
Yeah, that's true. But Kajol, I think, is just like a very bubbly person in real life. So then those, when it comes out on screen, you just feel her.
I'd love to see Kajol in a comedy, actually.
Oh yeah, she would.
I'd love
she's
to
so
see in a
funny.
comedy.
She is really
I'd love to see in a comedy, a thriller, maybe a thriller again, like a Gupt or something like that
yeah,
again.
that's
I'd love to
different.
see in a thriller.
And what about Varun Dhawan?
Varun, I'd actually want to see him in a slightly more mature role. Mature, I don't mean boring mature, but little, ये boy बहुत हो गया अभी.
That's true.
अभी थोड़ा manly, थोड़ा tough, थोड़ा manly romantic or manly action, more
Got
manly.
it. Yeah.
बहुत हो गए लड़कों वाले रोल.
Makes sense what you're saying.
Yeah, more मर्द.
More mature role.
More mature mard. That's, I want to see more in that. The other thing I feel really strongly about is a lot of our promotions today are just so pathetic. Yeah. They are so sad. The couple is playing rapid fire. They are dancing. What is going on?
How can that be done better?
Just make a good trailer.
Trailer?
You make a good trailer, your film is going to work. And after the film works, then do promotions to continue the success of the film. Gaddar, the amount of promotions Sunny did after the release of the film were more impactful than had he done anything before. He had not had a hit for a while. So had he gone on doing promotions, people would be, haan, theek hai, chalo. But after the film, that makes an impact. Also, once I as an audience have seen your film, and then you come and talk about your film, there's so much more to talk about. Now, this conversation we have about a film that I'm making, and it's releasing in 2 weeks. What will you talk about? What were the good moments on the set? Arey yaar, kya boring question hai ye?
True.
And then 90%, it was so cold while we were shooting there. Arey, shut up yaar, I'm not interested if it was cold, I don't care. It was so difficult. Who cares about these stupid things, yeah? Acha, now I'll play a game. You lift up these placards and tell me what you feel. What is this? This is how you promote a film, lifting placards and saying yes, no, truth there. What is this nonsense? After the film is a hit, now tell me, would you have any of these questions with Vinod Chopra for 12th fail, or with Medha Shankar, or with Vikrant Massey for 12th fail? No. But after the film is a hit, there's so much to talk about. To ask Vikrant, how did you prepare? To ask Medha, how did you get this role? We've heard Vinod is a difficult director. Was he difficult? Did he fire you? Did he make you cry?
Right.
Ask Vinod, why did you make this film? Where's the thriller? Where's the parinda? Where's the scale? Where's all that? वो सब क्यों नहीं किया आपने? So much to ask Vinod Chopra after you've seen the film. Before the film, क्या पूछना है?
They think because they're trying to sell out the tickets, so then you need to do it before.
You think by lifting placards and by playing truth or dare, people are going to buy tickets. अरे क्या truth or dare का आंसर दिया ये हीरो ने? अब मैं जाकर उसका पिक्चर देखूंगा.
But best movie promotion is word of mouth, which can only happen after about talking about them. You're right.
But it can only happen with a good trailer. You make a good trailer, people are going to come to see your film. Rest all is noise. Rest all is noise. How many promotion did you see Shah Rukh doing of Pathan? Or of Jawan?
He didn't.
Or Sunny Deol of Gaddar? And you can say, "Nee, but wo to Shah Rukh hai, he doesn't need it." But what happened with his earlier films before Pathan? They didn't work. He did promotions also. But those films didn't work as much as Pathan.
Right.
Same Shah Rukh Khan. So फिर I'm saying do a promotion, but at least do something connected with the film. Here promotions are happening, nothing is connected with the film. कुछ भलता ही चल रहा है. And I don't blame the content creators for that. You're getting your content, you're doing it. It's your job, you're doing it. But what are those people doing? What are they doing? It's embarrassing to watch some of the promotions that happen today.
Yeah, now that I think about it, I'm like, yeah, why are we watching all this crap?
Why are we watching this crap as an audience? Why are we watching?
Because that's what is shown to us. That's what is being pushed out to us through everywhere. whether
So we're watching this
creator
rubbish.
Yeah.
But at least talk about the film, or do it days after the film, and make a film, make a trailer which is so good that people are going to come on the basis of your trailer. Ask yourself, ask me, ask anybody here, why do you go to see a film? Not because the actors played truth or dare or did a rapid fire with some influencer. No. We went to see a film or decided to see a film because of the trailer. Or ticket sasti hai ki nahi. That's also a big problem.
Yeah.
Ticket prices are going very high.
That's true. I remember though, I made my dad, he's like, no, I'm not watching 12th Fail. What is this movie? He had no idea because he'd not seen any material of it. I showed him the trailer. I said, no, you have to come with me for this movie. And then he came and he was so surprised. He's like, I had no idea, but this is good. Like,
See,
after the trailer.
but the trailer. So that's all you need. Had you shown him a rapid fire between Medha Shankar and Vikrant Masi, would he go?
No. He'd be like, I'm not watching this, don't waste my time.
Lovely rapid fire between our hero and heroine. Film releasing on 21st of this month. Please go and watch it.
But now the new way of promotion is one hook step they do. And all over my Instagram, that one hook step everybody is doing. And that's only that. There's no content
But
there.
none of this is working.
Only the hook step.
But none of this works.
No, also it's annoying.
The reel works. Also, those reels work. All those work. But the film doesn't work. So फायदा क्या? फायदा क्या? So that means just concentrate on your goddamn work. Don't do these stupid promotions. Don't buy tickets yourself. ये सब बंद करो यार. ये सब बंद करो. Just make good content. Make a good kick-ass trailer. Let that trailer speak for itself. Let your film speak for itself. And have the confidence and the guts कि अच्छा पहले दिन नहीं चली कोई बात नहीं. Second day it'll pick up. Third day it'll pick up. Films pick up.
Yeah.
That happens.
They pick up over the years apparently.
They pick up over the years sometimes. They pick up over the years. That's the way cinema will improve. That's the way our films will improve.
Yeah, because we really need that. Bollywood is looking at a very big dip right now.
But also a very good high. I'm saying there's a very good high. If Stree's done 600, it's a high. Let's see that. And what are the things of Stree that people are not talking about? It's a film that genuinely speaks of women empowerment. The women are doing the climax. Women are fighting.
Yeah.
Title bhi Stree hai. The men get, what do you call it, brainwashed, कि lock the women at home, do this, do that and all that. And then the women have to break out from that. Lovely, yeah? Great
That's
concept.
a story.
That's a story. एक story तो आई. So I'm saying you need to show things like that. Just by having a lead as a woman does not make your film a heroine-oriented film.
Right.
You got to have a subject that goes with it. You got to have the songs that go with it. You got to have all that. Then it'll work.
To new directors, you would say this, right? Because that was my question, is that if somebody is beginning out their career in this space, what should they do? Should they go learn? Should they go work with somebody? Should they just try on their own?
See, I never worked with anybody.
Oh, okay.
I assisted for a very short time. I assisted Chandra Barot. He was making a film called Boss with Vinod Khanna. Then I did music videos. Proper music videos, Mera Longa Vacha, Chui Muisi Tum Lagti Ho. I did a lot of music videos. I did some 27 music videos, really nice ones, and they all had a story in them. So you learn from that also. So I think, to new directors, all I'd say is find a story first. Technique is not as important as story. Have something to say. If you don't have anything to say and you say it nicely, what's the point? जब बोलने को ही कुछ नहीं है तो कितना भी फैंसी कैमरा एंगल रख दो कुछ नहीं होने वाला. हीरो से दोस्ती करके एक पिक्चर मिल जाएगी, दूसरी मिल जाएगी, तीसरी नहीं मिलेगी. तो बिकॉज दैट हीरो विल आल्सो रियलाइज कि यार ये तो कुछ काम ही नहीं आता है इसको. एंड सैडली दैट्स अ लॉट ऑफ दैट इज आल्सो हैपनिंग. आई थिंक वी नीड टू break away from the groupisms and get away from all that and not be happy with small successes
and mediocre work.
Yeah. That's a given. See, you never know what a fate of a film is going to be.
Yeah.
With a film like Hum Tum, I think till Monday afternoon we didn't accept it's a hit. We were scared to accept. डरे हुए थे.
Really?
We were very scared. I remember very clearly at 1:30, I was sitting in the office. We were just wondering, Adi and me are wondering कि यहाँ से फ़ोन नहीं आ ये डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर से फ़ोन करो, इधर से फ़ोन करो, ये करो, पूछो क्या हो रहा है, ऑल इंडिया कल मंडे ड्रॉप तो नहीं आया. 1:30 I get a call from Rakesh Roshan and he says, Kunal, 12 बजे में इंदौर का शो तुम्हारा फुल गया है. बड़ी फिल्में इंदौर में 12 बजे का शो फुल नहीं कर सकती, तुमने किया है, कंग्रेचुलेशन, योर फिल्म इज अ सुपर हिट.
Wow.
I said, thank you, sir. I told Adi, Adi, हमारी पिक्चर तो हिट हो गई. राकेश जी का फोन आया. So, that, see, do something where people call you आगे से. बोलना नहीं पड़ता.
Yeah, you don't need to push yourself then through.
Good work, you don't need to show off. The moment you need to say कि नहीं इसमें ये है, बात खत्म. लाइक इफ आई टेल यू कि देखो ये जो मेरा फ़ोन है ना, ये नई कंपनी है XYZ, अब इसमें देखो ये फीचर है, ये आईफोन है, समझ गए, आईफोन है, अच्छा ही होगा.
Right.
सिंपल पिक्चर हिट होती है, बोलना नहीं पड़ता है. जब एवरेज हिट होती है या स्मॉल हिट होती है या फीडिंग करके हिट होती है, तब बोलना पड़ता है नहीं एक्चुअली मेरी ये पिक्चर चल रही है वो.
Right.
आपको पता नहीं, लेकिन हिट है, ओवरसीज में हिट है, इधर हिट है, उधर हिट है, तो बोलना पड़ता है. जब हिट है तो बोलना नहीं पड़ता.
Your work will speak for itself.
Your work speaks for itself, and when it's wrong, then
also.
that also speaks for itself. Arey, this was a really bad film.
Because you can't fool an audience. I think they come to know.
You're only fooling yourself. You're only fooling yourself. And the day you stop fooling yourself, you'll get your success again.
It's been a learning curve. That's how you know, right? Today, after all of these years of experience.
Yeah. It's been a learning curve. And, learning of trusting the wrong people, helping the wrong people, not accepting one's mistakes. And say, okay, chalo now, back to it. Or getting into, chalo, let's do OTT for a while. No. I'm like, I see some of the films we made today, I'm saying, kya bana rahe? Wait, I'm coming back to cinema. Let me
revive it.
Let me revive it. Let me show you how it's done. Not being arrogant, but just being self-assured.
Yeah.
Just being self-assured. Let me show you how it's done. मैं एक अच्छी commercial हिंदी फिल्म बना के दिखाता हूँ. ये लो. Yeah.
Can't wait. We need, I'm telling you personally, we need it. And also, I think all of the things that you've spoken about, because in the show business, we don't see so much of the education behind it, right? How a scene is perfected, or how the actors are working with the directors. These are things nobody talks about. You're watching a movie and then you're done. So I'm glad that you've shared all of these insights, and I'm sure it's going to be very helpful for the audiences also.
It just came out organically. I mean, we're not planning to do
Exactly.
this. As you know, I didn't ask you any questions. I didn't tell you send me a question.
I usually don't have guests that don't ask for questions. I mean, like only legends. They're like, yeah, go for it. Also because you've been doing this right since interviewing and giving interviews and all. But I just feel like there's so many things that we've never heard as an audience. Like we would have never known that actors can do this to add to a scene to make it effective in the long run. Or like if it doesn't do well, how do you take it? Because we have a lot of audiences that are younger, right? So they will still have to go through this process. So just listening from you will make the process easier for them.
I hope so.
But it was great talking to you. I had a great time.
Thank you. Wonderful talking to you too.
It's already been so long.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching another episode. Don't forget to subscribe so you're updated, and leave a comment telling us what you thought about this. We'll see you in the next one.